Hello everyone, good morning to SAP Applications. Today's session going to be 86 and 87, 2 hours, 2 sessions. So we are into the search help topic only. We'll try to finish the search help topic, elementary search help, while because we are exploring the options, and finally we'll move on to the collective search help. Collective also will introduce and continue. Okay. So fine. Now, if you go to the quick recap first, because same way we have to, like if you observe it, like we have done the introduction part in detail. Next lecture, login procedure, screen navigation, then dictionary, tables, data element domains, structures of the structures, foreign key, that views, projection maintenance and help views. Help view extension we have switched to search help. That too we are into elementary search help. Okay. So almost yes, we have seen the search help point of view. If you notice, 22 sessions started with what is the alternative names for elementary search help overall. Match code objects replaced by search help feature and functionality, advantages, repository object, dictionary object, classification of search help, and moreover, how the search help can be defined and attached or where used areas. So where used through also you will come to know. Yes. Next, here, yes, demonstration of elementary search help. Two demonstrations. One is only employee number field. I populated only employee numbers in the field. And the second demo yesterday's, like employee number and name, we combined it. Two fields going to attach to the employee name field. That also yesterday completed. Even if we want to add one more field, employee address. That is like why we need more fields in the F4, because like we want to give more clarity to the user, that we want to go give more information to the user so that the user can refer it, go through it. Based on that, user can choose a option or user can enter a new value also, both the ways. Okay. Yes, how the search yesterday's topic, how search help can be attached to the, okay, if you go to the table field, okay, or structure components. Like if you 1 minute, let me log in. So what I'm attaching the search help data element got high priority comparing with the one. So if you go to here, test it. This is your table, EMP master table. Yes, if you go to the entries, okay, entry creation, yes, only number we got it, employee number, and we got employee name also with value restriction dialog box. Yes, this was. So this was assigned to where we assigned, we because wanted demonstrated two things. One is both explicitly defined search help. This is the search help name also you can find help and help one, both. Okay, this help is attached to the data element, and as well as this is help one is also attached to where it is attached to the table field. It is attached to the table field, right? So wherever if you want to go for this, like search help, this thing, okay, you can go and here check it out. You can remove this, so it is removed. The O4 help is removed. Search help also removed. If you want to assign to the data element, double click on this data element because high priority. Go to the data element level, change mode for the request system. Here specify the search help G underscore elementary search help 1. Then parameters. So parameters by number and the name. So search help parameter assignment. Apply name here. Go to the table, activate data element, go back, activate the table. Both are explicit search help. Then go back to the entries, create. So employee number is same as it is. Employee name, employee name also it is showing the same thing. That is, so only you can find that earlier we were we were assigning to the table field. Now we assign to the both at data element level because you must aware of how do we attach this procedure also. Okay. Yes. If you remember this currency key and material UOM foreign key through, we got this F4 help. When we go to the foreign key attachment, that foreign key are check table through, check table, check table, check table through. We have generated the F4 help. Okay, then again fixed values through we generated. And this one is date and time data type generated. And now go to the explicit scenario. So then, because if anything is missing, I am trying to look out, just checking out this one. Search the procedure. Yes, okay. So data collection explained yesterday. Again, search help. Hmm. Search help parameters. These are all the fundamental rules we have to follow. We have to follow these things. Search help parameters. Okay, we will see here again. I'll go back to the search help. Open the search help in change mode. Okay. Open the search help in change mode. Here, default values. So we can assign the default values are also. If you what are the values are allowed in the default values. If you press F1, you will come. These are all the following options you are allowed in the default value. One is default values. We can give constant values within a first. First is nothing but single quotes. Just like this is the date 1998-03-01. That is nothing but year, month, date. So if you want to give default date, you can give default date by using this F4 help. And as well as system fields, SOST structure components. System fields is a completely new to you. In the introduction of programming, you will come to know parameter IDs, get parameter IDs. So you don't know that. Like if you want to give, you can give a constant values also. So constants, yes, this is simply hard-coded constant values are also you can give it. Three things you can give it. So it should be first priority is given to the constants, second system fields, the third one is yes. Okay, but actually we will understand slowly all these things. This parameter IDs, I'll go on to talk on the interface programming. Intercommunication programming is there one topic. At that time, you will come to know about parameter IDs. System fields we will discuss in the coming session. Dimensions basics only we will cover. So yesterday's last topic was this. Like if you go to the Dialog behavior particularly. There are three types: display values immediately, or set of values, or value restriction. So this is the default, you will get it. If the values are less than 500, this option is recommended. If the values are more than 500, you will get more than 500, you will get this one. Then go to the dialog with value restriction. This value restriction is most of the cases we will use this. Sometimes what happens, we don't want to display the values by default. We want to give further restriction. Restriction is nothing but a kind of condition. Condition can be set by using, yes, that's what, yes, using relationship operator. Okay, yes. So condition can be defined using, okay, equals to, that is, okay, equals to, and as well as not equals to, and again next we have less than, next less than or equals to, and greater than, and greater than or equals to. Yes, greater than or equal. So, right, this is your, so if you keep the dialog restriction here, the dialog with value restriction, first what will happen, yesterday last minute I demonstrated also. If you go to the, yes, F8, yes, first press F4, first restriction dialog box appears. Okay, this is because of this option. Okay, restriction dialog box. Yes, so based on that, first you can go to the, okay, you can restrict the values by putting a condition. So once you stop typing, you will get this relationship symbol, selection field. Click on this, click on this, you will get these options. Include the single value. That include single value, greater than, equals to, less than or equals to, etc. Yes. Okay, this is about your overall. You can restrict based on employee number and employee name by default. Okay, restriction can be done based on both fields by default, right? Yes. So because all are interrelated topics, you try to understand. Today also we will finish those things, and section collective section pathway also we will proceed it. Yes. That is your exploring self-help options. And we will move on to the collective section, that is agent number. So no, by default, because we are talking on what, the search help. By default, like we can impose conditions based on all fields using restriction dialog box. Restriction dialog box. Okay? But that's what I have seen. Employee number through name through. Then next there is one option called as yes this. If suppose if I click on employee name, this yes this option, that is selection display. Yes, this is nothing but selection display. You press F1, what will happen? This flag is set because we will also call it as, actually checkbox can be called as flag also. Just like a checkbox activated or a checkbox flag is set, the sexual parameter appears in the selection of the for restriction values as pure display field. It is only for the display field. We cannot control based on that, yes, restriction. Suppose employee name. Yes, exactly. You press F4, you test it. Now, yes, in the restriction dialog box, this particular field only as a display field. You cannot impose conditions based on that particular field. That is called as selection display. Yes, this. Okay, got it. This is your this selection display because all are interrelated topic. So SD is nothing but selection display. Selection display checkbox. Checkbox is available for each search help parameter. Each search help parameter, yes, it is. If okay, this flag is set, we will write the same. Flag is set is nothing but if the checkbox is activated, yes, particular particular search help parameter, what happens? Okay, the result, okay, this field only, okay, this field display in the selection in the F4 restriction dialog box. Restriction dialog box as okay, it will display, that is as it is, it will display with without imposing conditions. That means what? If the flag is set, okay, we cannot specify further conditions. We cannot specify further conditions based on selection field search cell parameter or for this search cell parameter. Okay, this is your okay. You can keep all values or you can keep open or you can suppress it also. That is, you cannot control it. This is one of the way missing pending one in this search help panel. Right. Next, if you go to the value restriction dialog box, I want to suppose we want to display the value as something like 0011. If I keep default value, execute it. Yes, the default value is not displayed here. If the import checkbox is deactivated, yes, now you will get default as 011. Yes, this is additional extension. Okay, see, I will tell you this import checkbox. Yes, so yes, activating import checkbox, import checkbox is optional always. Okay, is optional. Then if okay, if it is not activated, if it is not activated, what happens? We can provide default value to search help parameter field. Search help field. So that This value will appear in the value restriction dialog. Value restriction dialog box by default. This is about your overall, like example. See, if the import checkbox is unchecked, I give the value as 0011 as employee number. Where can I find? Okay, press F4. Yes, here in the value restriction dialog box, this value is by default comes, which is in the editable mode. If you want, you can continue. You can continue because that was 201. You can continue, or else you can edit it also. But the restriction dialog box you will get as a default value. That is what default values within single quotes. First, through that you can see this is we are calling it as a restriction values. Okay. Suppose if you want to display by default employee name, I don't want values from F4. I want to display psi u name. Psi u name is nothing but user's name. So the logon user's name. If you activate it, if you execute and F4, here we got this S4 ABAP. S4 ABAP is the user's name. So SYST is the structure, uname is user's name. By default, you will get the user's name in this. So this is the way in the restriction dialog box, you can display the values in the editable, non-editable mode. That depends on the SDIS checkbox activation. SDIS is not activated for this. SDIS selection display is activated for this. And default values, how the default values comes, you can assign the default values like this. So if you want to display the default values, import checkbox to be deactivated. This is important. Okay, if the yes is not activated means it is simply in general English, it should be unchecked or it should be deactivated. Then only we can display the default values. Okay, we can display the default values to that. This is one of the option. Next, we however we are discussing this. One more thing I want to discuss. That is nothing but without import activation also. Yes, let's take. I'll remove this time being. I'll remove this also. Okay. Okay. You can remove this too. Wait it. No problem. Error occurred. Yes, because if you are giving without default, okay. So if you are giving default values, import should not be checked. Okay. Yes. Why yes, now it is activated again. Accepted. So uncheck import checkbox, provide default values. This is the way you have to. Suppose next, if without import also the values you will get it into F4 help. Actually, the import functionality, okay, import functionality is yes. What exactly the yes yes additional functionality of import parameter is it not only fetches the data from database table from database table. It also yes. Next, what exactly? It also fetches the data from database table. Okay, data from database table. It also fetches the data from database table based on the based on the condition defined defined in the value restriction dialog box. Okay, in the value restriction dialog. Because see, there are two ways. One way is if you are not specified anything, you will get all the values by default. All the values by default. Because yes, I have not imposed anything. That means it will fetch default value. But what happens if you want to fetch that? Suppose I'm specifying particular condition. This first system, what it checks in the restriction dialog box, is there any conditions are there? If condition is there, then what happened? It will generate the query like this: select star from uh, like ZEMP master where employee number equals to 002. Because this condition based system generate the implicit select query. Okay, accordingly you will get the result. If the condition is not there, suppose if the employee number is not there, then what will happen? If the employee number is not there, then system fetches simply select star from EMP master. That's it. There is no where clause because nothing is further conditions are not. This is about your. So if you want to fetch that data, condition based, restriction based, if you want to fetch the data, import should be activated always. When import is optional, because if you want to provide default values, I don't want, we don't want values from the SAP. In that at that time, you want to provide default values like constants and parameter IDs or system fields. At that time, import you can uncheck it and provide the default values. This you remember. And what about export? Export checkbox is nothing. Export is must and mandatory for each parameter. Yes, because yes, export checkbox selection is must. Export checkbox selection is must for search help, each search help parameter. Each search help parameter. Yes, export checkbox selection is must for against each because yes, without yes, as a result, what happens already explained. Yes, it is useful to return the user selected value from hit list to screen field. Okay, yes, hit list to screen field. This is about your okay. Hit list to screen field. Next, we are returning hit list to screen field. That F4 value you want to yes. That if export is not selected, values will not reflect. User selected value will not reflect in the screen field. It's about your overall topic of import and export importance, which are when to activate, not to activate. L position, list positions, you can shuffle as per the requirement. S position, S this almost modified. All these options are over. Then this is almost completed. Then we will move on to the yes, this is because I have collected this value restriction through. I have covered the yes, this also this import export default values related because it is yes most commonly used is this. Then we will go to the hotkey functionality. What is that hotkey? Yes. Hotkey hotkey is a single letter defined at while creating, hmm, while creating, while creating elementary search. Elementary search. Suppose it is okay, it is optional, not mandatory. Yes. So we can assign any digit or character, character, character also. So one single character, any single digit or single character we can give as a okay, hot. Yes. You go to this is your suppose if you want to have Z, A, V, K, E, H, S, L, P, one, any one of the letter you can give it anyone. So what is the impact of this search help is it is okay. What exactly the hotkey advantage? It is useful. It is useful to select the current search help if it is used in collective search help. Okay. Yes. Based on the underlying letter. Okay. Based on hotkey. Okay. Select the elementary required. We can select the required elementary search help. Okay. Where okay for F4 okay of collective search help. That means what I slowly you try to understand. Suppose example we will go to let's take go back. We have many screen fields. Let's take data type. In data type also you have F4. Now once I press F4, see you have to see two different types of. First, if you press F4, you are getting directly values. Go to the views, you are getting, yes, you are not getting the values. In the views, you are not getting the values. If you go to the data type, you are not getting the values. You are getting further some list of options. If you go to the type group, you are getting the values directly. See the difference. F4 help also domain values directly. Yes. Okay, search help values directly. Lock objects values directly. Correct? In lock object also. Mhm. So what exactly the difference? That means very simple. If you are getting the values directly, that is a kind of elementary section. If you are getting few more further options, then that is called as a collective search. So there are many collective search help. These collective search help, you see, you can search one, search two, search three, search four, search five, six, seven. That is seven tabs or seven alternative search paths. This is called collective search. The collective search help through, if you want to select any one of the collective search help, you can go for that. What key option should come? We will go to here. Yes. There is no hotkey. Okay. Even lock object. Here, no. Fine. No worries. We will go to another area. Let us take EMP master table. We will go to the fields tab. Here we have one field called as data element. If I press F4, you are getting here. So, here because I want to show one demonstration, then you will understand. key functionality, employment, GAVK_employment. In employment, suppose component type. If I press F4, this is the best example. So it is a collective search loop because the component type can be a data element, a structure, a table, or view and loop. Correct? Like if you go to the yes, but which option to select? One way is mouse through. You can select mouse through, but there is a one option called as hotkey. If you display hotkey, see display hotkey, yes, or yes, display and hide. This button act like a display and hide toggle button. Activate. See, now you have to observe. Actually, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven like elementary search helps are combined under one collective search help. That collective search help is assigned to this component type. So there are like if you want to go to this path, data elements D, one letter is assigned as D. For structures, yes. For tables, T. For table types, L. No space equals to views. K for classes, I for interfaces. So single letter is same. So if you want to select like anyone, you can use this. Okay, like mhm, 1 second. Yes, this is there is a kind of uh, like you can use this particular this particular key, this left side key. Okay, this key selection through you can choose this because cursor is at data element. If you want to come to the other one, yes, you can yes, use the cursor, place the cursor over there. If you place the cursor on yes also, it's control combination, shift combination of the form is also not working. Okay, fine. This is the letter selection through you can choose this. This is the best example of hotkey. Okay. So each elementary search help, while defining each elementary search help, they defined one letter called as DST. These letters are displayed while selecting the collective search help. That's all for hotkey option. This is your hotkey discussion. Okay. It is useful in the collective part, in the collective search help part. Hotkey. We will see. I can show you the hotkey also in our collective demonstration so that you will come to know practically. Yes, then go back to the elementary search help. Elementary search help. Yes, coming to the hotkey over, dialog behavior is over, data collection is also over. This enhanced options are HANA onwards. Full text search is given here. This is still I need to explore these options. Okay, now only this these options are. Then last one is search help exit. Like what is the meaning of this search help exit? Search help exit is optional by default because if uh, if it is empty, that means if the search help exit is empty, if the search help exit is empty, what will happen? Then like F4 help F4 help behaves F4 help behaves as a standard process. It's a standard process. Yes. F4 help behaves as a standard process. Yes, but now like advantage of Advantage of search help exit is yes, we can deviate standard behavior. We can deviate standard SAP behavior, or else we can deviate or change. Yes, right. It can be implemented. It can be implemented using function module. Okay, using function module. Yes. So the advantage of this exit is once it is implemented, the F4 help behavior gets changes. Okay, upon implementation of search help exit. See, very simple. Search help is the normal word. Exit. Exit is nothing but a termination. What you are terminating. Exit generally exit keyword is used to terminate the loops. So search help exit is nothing but exit is yes terminate standard behavior and change standard F4 help behavior. That is about your overall yes search help exit functionality. Yes. If you come here, this is not mandatory. If you go to the F4 of the search help exit, yes, there are many function modules are available here in the search help exit. Many function modules. So each function module through you can change the search help behavior. Okay, we can change. Yes, this is your function module. Okay, continue. I will remove this 101 list. Continue. Okay. Now this is a nothing but normal function module search. So there are SAP provided many built-in function modules are there which are used to change the standard behavior change. Okay. F4 help if you want you can change it also. Yes, we got all the function module. So if you observe it, there are 3642 function modules are there. Each function module you can apply one elementary search help, one search help exit. So it is optional. But if you apply this search help exit, the F4 help behavior get changes. Example, exit merge. Exit. This is the search help exit to merge the proposal fields. So it will merge this function. T search help exit for purchase document. Search help exit for purchase document and sales order document. Because actually, if you go to this function module in SC37, backend code is there to perform this additional functionality, merge functionality, the hierarchy functionality to get the attribute of the given material. See, very simple. This search help is used to get the attribute of the given material. That is, so it's important for project point of view. Many search help exits are there. Even we can create our own G function module. We can create our own G function module and come back and attach this search function, this G function module to the search help exit. It is also possible. So F4 IF search help exit behavior. Yes. So lot of search help exits for SDM, PPQM, etc. So many. Okay. Yes. Search help exits. If you go to the F4, okay, IF star continue. Yes, F4 IF star continue. Yes, you will find so many F4 IF is there. Like many function modules. You have to go to this because this is the standard. Okay, go to the ABCD F. Yes, this is what F4 with F4 with key only the material number, matter based. Okay, different field based. You can use it. F4 help with IDOC type. F4 will with IDOCs closed. Okay, so this way you will find the particular F4IF. So many F4IF search help exit. F4IF, many search help exits are there for to change the standard behavior. So if the behavior is changed, that is because of the search help exit. Even yes, we can okay. SAP provided many function modules are available as it is okay defined and used by SAP. Even we can use okay we means customer. We can also define function module and in our use in our elementary section. Elementary section. It's it about your section function. Then yes. So then the extension connected topic we have to understand now. What is that? This F4 help some options are there. If you go to the help in the settings, help menu settings, you have to see F1 help settings, F4 help settings. What exactly the difference? Yes. So we will write it general options. Suppose help menu, arrow F1 help settings. Okay. What exactly the F1 help? So like suppose first we will talk on F1 help. If I go back, I am into SC11. I don't know anything on database table. I want F1 help. So if you press F1 help, it is providing the F1 help like this. F1 help is displayed in the performance assistant. F1 help is displayed in the performance assistant. Why you are getting this F4 help in the performance assistant? To go back help menu settings because F1 help is by default displayed in the performance assistant. But in the old days, F1 help we used to display in the model dialog box. Model dialog box. So if you continue, if I change that settings, F1 help, yes, this is your press F1, you will find, yes, this is called as same, help remains same, but you will find this model dialog box. This is old style. Old SAP screens uses this old model dialog box. Here F9 through you can choose the technical information also. Okay, F9, yes, you will get the technical information here. But in case of new, if you go back settings, yes, you can go to performance assistant. Yes, here F1, yes, among this all these things, we will go for fourth option as a technical information. Yes, technical information. Yes, this is your important topic. So F1 help settings. Yes, F1 help can can be displayed using model dialog box or performance performance assistant. Okay, model dialog box or performance assistant. Okay. Yes. Now, yes, model dialog box. Yes. Displaying. Okay. Help. Okay. Help in model dialog box. Yes. Is old strategy. That is old strategy or old process. Okay. Yes. Now, okay. SAP uses latest performance assistant. Performance assistant to display the F1 help documentation. This is a small deviation, but in both screens, in both screens, we have a option to check technical properties. Okay, because this fourth button is most important for functional and end users, everyone. This is your technical information. Okay, technical information. Technical information. Right. Okay, yes, this is nothing but function key F9. F9, so you will get it in old dialog box. This is technical information. There is a button over there. Okay, here it is icon is this. This is about your overall F1 help settings. Then go to the F4 help settings. What exactly the F4 help settings? F4 help settings are like this. So if you go to, yes, right. And moreover, this is user specific settings. F1 help and F4 helps are user specific settings. So, so these settings are help defined user specific. What does it mean? This is applicable to that particular user only. If I change my settings, you and me, we both will log into the same server, but these changes will applicable to me only. It is affected to my username, not for you. This is a common discussion on F1. Okay, clear? Then application help dialog box is used when user click on that help, it will take you to the help.sap.com. Actually, the link should be provided properly by basis consultant. If they configure, it will control automatically branch to the help.sap.com. Go to the F4 help. F4 help option is most important. So personal settings, okay, of so and so user F4 help. So this F4 help, if you observe it again, yes, this is your one section. Yes, user specific settings. Okay, what exactly the user specific? Do not display the personal list automatically. This checkbox we can activate it. What is personal list also I will tell you. The return values directly if only one hit. This two. Maximum number of hits to be by default 500. Okay, maximum width for the hit list 250. If you want to increase this hit list, that list width also we can increase it. Yes, that's most important. So F4 help settings goes like this. Maximum mm, maximum number of hits, okay, can be specified by default. It is 500. So that's why we are getting 500 hits by default. Next, hit list width also can be specified. Yes. So this is by default it is 250. 55 to 55 maximum width. This is your okay. Yes. Next, okay, this too you have understood, right? Display the dialogue where yes, this is your what is that? F4 help display. F4 help can be displayed in a control, dialogue, or system defaults. So A model or model dialog box. F4 help. F4 help can be displayed uh, A model or model dialog box. Okay, what is A model? Yes, A model is nothing but control dialog box. Model is nothing but suppose let us take control dialog box and continue. Yes, we will see the F4. This is your by default control dialog box is displaying the F4. But if we go to the change mode, F4 help, go to the dialog, model dialog box. So model dialog box is this. More or less same only here, but there is a this is actually a dialog box. Model dialog box. That too, this is applicable to ALV related. There is a checkbox of ALV model related. What is the meaning of that ALV? See, I don't think so here the behavior change, but there is a difference. There is a you will get the value for help as a different. Example, if you go to here, yes, this is your F4 help. Press F4. Make the cursor. This F4. This is F4. This is what the difference. So this is one type of F4 behavior changes. You can see the F4 behavior. Yes, control dialog box. This is your default of control A model and model. You press F4, see the difference. Old and the old. And new. This is the latest one. Which one? Like if you go to here, control dialog, or else you can go to system by default also. Okay. A model is latest one. Next, if you go to the display dialog and all ALV, it's okay. System defaults. If you activate system defaults, you will get by default these are all the default things. Because left side options are given to you. Right side, what is by default is control displaying control dialog boxes by default. These two are by default. Personal value list is not selected, written directly it not selected. These are all the system defaults. You can find it. If you want to change, you can find the yes, find the default system settings also. Yes. Okay. Yes. This is about your overall. Because there was a unique requirement. Somebody asked me yesterday, like to provide for help. By default, I don't want 500. I want to display the 1,000 entries by default. So there are two, three ways you can implement it. One of the ways you change the default as 1,000 so that by default 1,000. This is a setting. One time setting result you will get it for user specific settings. But if you want to apply default system level setting, then if you want, you can assign the by using, we can define one function module. That function module through you can implement it whatever the behavior you want to change it. If you want to display by default 1,000 entries, 2,000 entries, you can write it up to 2,000 directly. That search help exit function module You have to attach that. You can change the behavior. You can incorporate the requirement as per the user's choice. Okay, user's choice. Generally, the F4 help, once you click, there is a sort criteria also will happen, sorting. In ALV list particular, that sort also a additional functionality implemented by using F4 help behavior. So this way, these are all about your, yes. Then there is a one small topic, however, we have not deviated. There is a one topic called as personal value list. Personal value list is also a topic under F4. What is personal value list? I can take you to one example of VA01. In VA01, we got the sales order creation screen where you have sales order type, sales organization, distribution, and division. So if you see, the values are in the F4 help, yes, in the standard F4 help list, help hit list, yes, we can define personal value list. Personal value list. So how do you define it? Choose a value, click on insert personal value. It's in insert personal value list. Okay, choose another value and click on insert a personal value list. So that, yes, next time when user press F4 key, when user press F4 key, at that time, default, by default, personal value list, personal value list appears first. Personal value list appears first. Yes, that's what. This is the, okay, it is helpful to the, or useful to the end users. Yes. Okay, see, I will take you to example. Example through you will come to know this. This is, suppose, like the values, whatever the values we are choosing, it simplifies the user selection. Okay, we will move to the next session.